After like 7 weeks, 2 days. It was that was the idea.
Hello, first part in bar goes until 9 o'clock, second part until 10:30 on Saturday evening.
Well, good morning, big game, big room. The three predecessors here, David Moyes sat there and said that Manchester United were underdogs going into this game. Louis talks about Mike the chef and his thoughts on it, and Jose said because he wasn't really part of the city, he didn't understand the rivalry. How do you go about it, and did you look at this game when you're offered the job?
Yeah, of course you do, but I've played a few of these myself, and I know how the magnitude of it, and for the fans, for everyone who works here, the staff, you know. There has been many comments about this is the big one, onto this one. We've been looking forward to this one. Then it's our job to be focusing and channeling all that energy into performance mode when we start the game on Sunday. It's not about emotions. That's not what it's about. I understand that emotion can be brought into it, but we have to stay focused and controlled, but with some fight in us as well.
Does it hurt to watch Liverpool fighting for a title with Manchester City and United are fighting for fourth?
I'm not really focusing on the teams, what they're doing. I'm focusing on us and what we have to do to get to where we want to be. And it's a three-horse race at the top, and it's a three-horse race to the fourth position. So that's more my focus. But now it's of course this game.
So you'd like Spurs to win the title?
I don't really get myself involved in that, but maybe.
Ole, the fans that I've spoken to said they had pretty much no expectations going into the last game against Liverpool. How proud are you that you've changed that perception, because they have big expectations going into this one?
It's not about pride, it's about, I feel we've taken a few steps in the right direction in that process of becoming what we want to become, that we are a team that challenge higher up the league. Then again, it's not about pride, no. On to the next one, because I never look back, and I just want to see forward.
The fans are asking this week about the fitness of Jesse and Anthony. How are they, and how's the rest of the squad?
We're looking okay. I hope Jesse will be okay. Hope and think Anthony will be okay, but we've got 2 more days, so they've got to get through these 2 sessions. They've not been part of it yet, but they've been doing some recovery work, and Anthony's was a different muscle, of course. So we think that he might be ready, and hope that Jesse will.
How important are those two to the way you play?
Well, every single player has their attributes to give us something, and I think the way we played against Chelsea shows that we can manage without them as well. We've got options. It's a big squad, good players. Everyone's eager. They want to play this game, and some of them they haven't played so much. If they get a chance in this game, it's a chance to step forward. So if they don't make it, well, I'm sure it might be the same team as we played against Chelsea. Then who knows?
Ole, how do you beat Liverpool?
I wouldn't tell here, would I? Of course, yeah.
In general terms.
Yeah. No, we have to perform better than what we did against PSG. That's the focus that we have to, because it's a big game, it's a big team. Of course, it's, as you said here, suddenly we're not underdogs anymore. Suddenly people praise us. They think now is the time to play them. We've got to learn from that experience against PSG because we didn't perform to the level we wanted to, even though they should have had 10 men and we should have had 11 on the pitch when it was quite even. So we've just got to make sure that we stay focused the whole game, because to concede a set piece, all these games are decided on little margins, that little 1 centimetre that Mbappe was in front of Eric, and he scored instead of Eric clearing it, that second goal as well. That's the deciding factor in these big games.
The PSG game, even though I didn't want to lose it, it's been a harsh lesson, one to almost inspire you, learn from.
Yeah, definitely, because we were confident going into it, humble enough to know that PSG were a fantastic team, and they are. But then again, they hurt, and how the players responded was fantastic. They were disappointed in our performance, and maybe it's natural because Jesse, Marcus, Luke, Anthony, they hadn't played a big Champions League game for Man United at Old Trafford before. So that's something I have to learn from, and they as well.
When you last played Liverpool, Pogba was an unused substitute for that game.
He'll play now.
He's obviously. You watched a lot of United before you took over. What did you think of Paul before you took over, as in terms of his performances for United? And did you think you needed to make him a focal point of this team?
I was asked, wasn't I? And I've been quoted so many times that if you'd build your team around Paul Pogba, I said maybe a couple of years back, when you don't think you're going to get this job. And but he's a top player that I've always liked ever since I saw him as a kid. He's a World Cup winner. He's a leader in the dressing room, on the pitch as well. He wants the ball all the time. So my idea was to get him playing to the best of his abilities by not just him, but I thought he's an attacking midfielder. And of course now you saw PSG, they man-marked him. Other teams probably will. Don't know if Liverpool will. If they do, of course, we will have experienced that because that was what they did and stopped Paul and created space for others. We need to be ready for that.
Is there another midfielder in the world with his skill set?
There's different types of midfielders, but in his mould, I don't think there's anyone near with his physical presence. He can score goals. He's great close technique. The diving header he scored against Chelsea, fantastic. He's done the same against Bournemouth when he ran from the halfway line to get in the box. But he can also spray passes when he's more sitting in midfield. I don't think that's his best position, but he can do that as well.
Do you think with Paul and Marcus maybe particularly? I mean, all sort of the great teams have got special players that you can build around. Can you see those two sort of coming to the fore where you can build another sort of great United team going forward around?
Yeah, they're young enough to stay here for many years, we hope. But then you've got Matic and Herrera. That makes Paul's job the one it is, because you got to complement each other. You cannot just put 11 Ronaldos on the pitch and think you're going to win a game, or 11 Messis, because you're not. So it's all about complementing each other's attributes, and I think we've found a good balance there in midfield so far.
Oh, you mentioned Pogba, but in some ways is Herrera a kind of a real spirit of Manchester United at the moment, the way that he's going about his business?
Yeah, you see the way he goes about. He covers every single little grass on the pitch, even though it's not his job, but he does it when it's necessary. So against Chelsea, for example, in the first minute he ended up almost left wing and winning the ball, and we're playing out from there, and we're sitting there like, how's he ended up there? We want to see that on the video. But he has so much passion and energy and enthusiasm, and he gives everyone around him that little bit of a extra spark to go, because he's a leader in that respect. And I remember when he played against us for Bilbao, the energy that he has. So you see that he's gone through a good school through Bielsa, when you got to cover every single, and the rotation in his play as well. He can play sitting midfielder, he can run, so it's about which one we decide for him this time.
I think Liverpool know they're going to be in for an incredibly hard time on Sunday.
We know we're in for a very tough game, because they've been fantastic, Liverpool, this season, and I think they will know as well that to come to Old Trafford it should be a difficult one. I think they pay us respect, and we will pay them respect, because it's a team full of good players.
You talk about emotion. Yeah. Emotionally, it'd be hard for them as well, won't it? Knowing what is on this game, coming to Old Trafford, it could be a major step for them to that first title. that's going to weigh on.
Yeah, it's for them it's a big game. For us it's a big game because we want to be amongst the top 4. So, and we're playing Liverpool. We know how big that game is for Man United. We know how big that game is for the staff here, how it is for the supporters. So we're just looking forward to another challenge for this team because we want to build this team into it's worthy of Man United's history, and it's another step on if we can do that at home. We've Tottenham away, Chelsea away, Arsenal away. Fantastic to win those 3 away games. Now we need to perform at home as well.
Okay, last question.
Before games like this, Sir Alex would sometimes go in for mind games to try and get a psychological edge.
Yeah.
Is that something that you buy into as a manager at all?
Nah. I don't think it's any. I don't think Jurgen Klopp will read what I say. I'm not going to read what he says or the player says. That's further down the line, I would think. But he would be welcome to have his talk to the players if he wanted to, the gaffer, because we know how much it meant for him to overtake Liverpool. So I think our players know what it means for everyone at Man United.
No plans